Bako Haruna is the new general manager of Sonara. This was the result of an extraordinary board meeting that took place at the company's headquarters in Limbe this morning, as it was presided over by the Minister of Water, Energy Resources, Gaston Elundu Esomba. Plus, Far North Region Governor Mijawa Bakari commissioned some newly appointed senior divisional officers that were appointed by President Paul Biya into function. On tonight's newscast, we focus on the senior divisional officer of Diamari Division in that part of Cameroon. Hello there, good evening to you all. This is High Prime of Friday the 9th of February 2024. For presentation, I am a technical Larry Kevin Sabot. We start off with a story from Mamfe, where shops along the way in Mamfe Motor Park have been razed to nothing after a fire incident that took place last night of Thursday that saw the set shops being burned by the rapid fire that consumed the shop. This prompted Mamfe Mayor Robertson Tabenchong, who went to the scene to take stocks of the loss suffered by the said traders, as Aisha Mbeng tells us more.
It was about 4:30 p.m. Thursday afternoon, where some bus owners along the way in Motor Park, Mamfe Manu Division, were in shock as their bus places were reduced to nothing by fire. The mayor of Mamfe Council, Robertson Tabenchong, visited the scene.
The 10 shops have been burned today by unknown fire. We don't know where the fire came from. The eyewitnesses told us that the fire started from a shop that was locked up. The person owning the shop was not there at the time. So we barely can identify what was the cause of the fire. I believe that the forces of law and order are going to take measures to investigate and to know what is the actual cause of the fire.
In strong terms, Mayor Robertson Tabenchong made it clear that separatist fighters had nothing to do with the fire.
I want to state it very clear, critically clear, that it is not an Ambazonian attack. It is not, the fire is not caused by the Ambazonian terrorists. No, it is caused by unknown situation, and I believe that the forces of law and order are going to investigate, and in the days ahead they will tell us what actually happened.
While sympathizing with those who have suffered great loss, it is important to also extend a helping hand.
On to something else. Members of the board of directors of the National Refinery Company, Sonara, has met at the company's headquarters in Limbe this morning in an extraordinary session that was presided over by the Minister of Water Resources and Energy, Gaston Elundu Esomba. During the session, third grade magistrate Bako Haruna, who till now was the general manager of the Cameroon Oil Transportation Company, COTCO, was announced the new general manager of the said parastater. He takes over from Simon Njunu Jean-Paul, who till this moment was the general manager of that said establishment, who has been there for close to 5 years now. During the commissioning ceremony conducted by the Minister of Water, Energy and Resources, Gaston Elundu Esomba, he asked the newly appointed General Manager of Sonara, Bako Haruna, to be assiduous towards the reconstruction of the Sonara refinery. Let's take an excerpt of an interview of the Minister during that session.
On the instructions of the head of state, has introduced a line entitled Support of the Refinery of 4788 CFA into the price structures of petroleum products in order to restructure and pay off Sonara debts. A number of agreements have already been signed to this end, with the aim of the first pacifying relations between Sonara and its partners. Mr. General Manager, your role will therefore be to speed up the restructuring process already initiated by the government in collaboration with our technical and institutional partners. With regard to the reconstruction of refinery, the head of state instructed that the project be carried out under public-private partnership. I therefore urge you, as project owner, to take all necessary steps to recruit a financial and technical partner to rebuild with upgrading the damaged infrastructure. It is new in its new configuration. The refinery must be fitted with hydrocracking units that will enable Cameroon's crude oil to be refined to the heavy molecule in order to upgrade the distillate and produce noble products that are sold at higher prices on the market. With regard to Sonara's import activities, I urge you to pay special attention to making petroleum products available on the domestic market, as you have been instructed, with an 80% share by the states. In its current form, Sonara is a primary depot, and I request you to ensure the development and reconversion of its storage tanks, which will guarantee a significant source of revenue to the company. In the same vein, as Sonara's laboratory is an international benchmark that guarantees the quality of products placed on the market, I urge you to pay special attention to its operation and functioning as the guarantee of our country's readiness. Broadly speaking, it is your responsibility to ensure the equilibrium of your structure, and this will require not only peaceful social climate among your staff, but also the safeguarding of the general interest.
Congratulations there to Baku Haruna, the new GM of Sonara. We talk something else. Youths in Dop of Ngokotunja division of the Northwest region will be receiving checks from the Cameroonian government come the 11th of February. This is in a way for the government to assist the set youth for them to be self-employed and self-reliant. According to the senior divisional officer of that part of the Northwest region, Kweteng Anderson, who says it is a government's goodwill for the youth to be upright, as this was after a workshop that the youth undergo some training, as Alice Lekeliengu tells us more.
In order to enhance and empower youth to be economically vibrant, a capacity workshop for youth poultry farmers in Dub has taken place this February 8, 2024 as part of activities marking the Youth Week.
To build their capacity, to reinforce their knowledge in this activity, and secondly, to assist them to carry out their activity in a better way by themselves. We are very, very grateful. We had resource persons who came with their knowledge, with their experience and practicalities, imparted the knowledge to them. And we are here very grateful to all those resource persons who train these women. And we hope we will attain our objective at the end of the day when they start practicing this exercise.
The youths were called upon to be ambassadors and educate separatist fighters to drop their weapons.
They should be disciples of peace, to preach peace wherever they are, and to participate in Youth Week activities, so that within these circumstances we will be buoyant. And we say we are very, very grateful for this magnanimity of the head of state, who is acting through the Minister of Livestock, Fishery and Animal Industry, and started with Sideno, and now the Ngokotunja administration has copied this good example and is imparting it to the rest of the population is to transform Ngokituja division, this valley, into a valley of birds, and that we will have the birds well supplied in Ngokituja.
Different models that can enable the youths engaged in poultry farming for sustainable growth were taught during the workshop.
To maximize plenty profit. I know that this people go take this chemical, go take this chemical, no. And to another extent, and they try to go in for pure farming, who try to reduce chemical, then follow this natural one way it will help was key. Move over, go in for chemical, where you can't eat against we. Because I mean, I really chop the fowl. Even if you sell on the never will cook and you can't chop. So, you think, the way you keep the fowl, you think to say, I will chop that fowl.
With the day-old chicks that will be given to this youth on February 11, it is hoped that they will seize this opportunity and become entrepreneurs.
From the northwest region, we take you to the far north regions of Cameroon, where a series of commissioning into office of the newly appointed senior divisional officers of the far north regions have taken place, as it was conducted by the governor of the far north region, Mijawa Bakare, who commissioned the newly appointed SDO for Diamari division. The governor says he needs to be audacious when it comes to making sure peace and security reign in Diamari division of the Far North region. Our Far North Regional Bureau Chief Yauba Mubarak tells us more.
Population de l'arrondissement de Gazawa. Voici votre sous-préfet. Monsieur Boukar Manoum Oumate. Prenez le commandement.
The newly appointed senior divisional officer of Gazawa in the Diamare division officially installed into his functions. Bukar Malum Omate Singhs, the 18th of January, was appointed by a presidential decree senior divisional officer of Gazawa, a locality that faces many challenges in terms of education of the girl child and the lack of birth certificate.
Les défis sont immenses. Nous commençons par la sous-scolarisation, surtout de la jeune fille.
We are facing many challenges here in Gazawa, among which the sub-scolarization of youth in general and girls in particular. The lack of birth certificate, which have pushed many children to abandon schools.
Nous sommes à la veille des élections présidentielles. Il faut que les nouveaux.
We are barely close to the upcoming presidential elections. The new SDO must do well to reorganize our chiefdoms and also professionally reorganize the way that our traditional rulers are chosen by the population.
Le type de désignation des chefferies traditionnelles au niveau de 3e degré, surtout qui cause problème.
The handing over ceremony of power chaired by the divisional officer of Diamare, Jean-Marc Ekwambarga, witnesses the participations of sons and daughters of the locality at the Gazawa ceremonial ground. Jean-Marc Ekwambarga, during his speech, urged the newly appointed senior divisional officer to be advocate of good conduct and professionalism in order to deal with the socio-cultural situation of his area of command.
Il doit s'impliquer personnellement pour impulser le développement économique de l'arrondissement de Gazawa. J'insiste également.
He must be fully engaged in the process of development of this locality. I also call him to do well to reorganize chiefdoms, especially at the level of designation of traditional rulers with impartiality and professionalism.
Pour nous éviter des querelles et des contentieux interminables en matière de désignation des chefs traditionnels. Je crois qu'il a les moyens de sa politique, il est bien armé.
Bukar Malum Oumate takes over command to the outgoing SDO Gabriel Matna Tourmou, transfer to Johon in the Bere Division, Adamawa region, in the same capacity as SDO of Johon.
You are watching High Prime and we are coming to you live from our main studio here in High Television. We take you to Kumba, where some 80 students of the Lone Government Agricultural School in the Southwest region have been matriculated into the prestigious agricultural school based in Kumba. This was in a ceremony conducted by the Senior Divisional Officer for Mehmed Tuandong Shambalin, as our Kumba reporter, Warrantin Ngwari, reports.
The matriculation ceremony of Community Development Specialization Training School and Rural Development Specialization Training School, CDSTS and Red STS Kumba, took place today Thursday at the school campus. The solemn ceremony was done under the watchful eyes of the Senior Divisional Officer for Mehmed Shambaleng Tungdong and other top government officials of the division. The 2023-2024 academic year will be successful, as remarked by the Senior Divisional Officer, by only the collaboration of the entire staff, as he called on them to give their support to the directors of these institutions. He congratulated the directors for standing firm to train young Cameroonians that will take charge over effective farming, especially as the division is one of the highest producers of cocoa in the country.
And I will also seize this opportunity to congratulate the directors for the work well done. You know, it was not easy during that period, but they tried their best to keep alive those state institutions. And today all of us are enjoying that despite the crisis, all the cocoa still coming from the Mehmed division. You are having any kind of product you need in this Mehmed division, down to the courage, down to the commitment, down to what they are doing in order to contribute to the manner development of this country. Once more.
Worthy of note is that CDSTS and Red STS are all training schools under the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. It was an opportunity for prizes to be awarded to some meritorious trainers and trainees of the Community Development Specialization Training School. The rendezvous has been taken for the 2024-2025 academic year.
We take you to our foreign news dossier for tonight. Thousands of people are fleeing towns and villages in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo as the M23 rebels keep on waging havoc on the innocent population. This has caused a humanitarian influx of internally displaced persons and refugees to neighboring countries that surround the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Aisha Mbeng tells us more on that story.
Thousands flee from home as fighting intensifies in the Democratic Republic of Congo in the Goma surrounding areas. Goma, the largest town in the area and home to a significant Congolese army presence, has become the focal point of this mass exodus. Residents of neighboring villages like Olive Luanda from Sake recount harrowing scenes of soldiers abandoning their posts, prompting civilians to flee in fear of the advancing M23 fighters. Despite the arduous journey to Goma, which can take up to 5 hours on foot from Sake, the safety of the city is far from guaranteed. Recent days have seen rockets raining down on the city's outskirts, albeit causing no casualty, underscoring the indiscriminate nature of the conflict's reach. The inability of Congolese President Félix Tshisekedi to quell the violence despite his re-election in December has raised doubts about the government's capacity to restore peace. Analysts point to Tshisekedi's ongoing struggle to fulfill promises of stability in the region, exacerbating the plight of civilians caught in crossfire. Accusations leveled against Rwanda for providing military support to the M23 rebels further complicates the situation, with the United Nations echoing Tshisekedi's claims despite Rwanda's vehement denial. As the conflict escalates and displacement surges, the future remains uncertain for the people of Goma and its surrounding areas, trapped in a cycle of violence with no end in sight.
With that foreign news dossier from the Democratic Republic of Congo, viewers, this is where we conclude High Prime for tonight of Friday, the 9th of February 2024. We are wishing the youth of Cameroon a blessed Youth Day celebration come this Sunday, the 11th of February. On behalf of the team, we say good night.